Can't regret my big sin. Though I acted a fool, my double become real has been. Tried my best to act cool through the rough weather, had no cues. Now there will say
They're making me use this new producer. I don't want to use it.
it's for Russian crocodiles, be there.
It's like how the body heat.
And I would say funny how you become what you've seen too much of. So I might have been. Tried my best to act cool through the roughest weather, had no cues. When I fall in love, I get dizzy. When I fall in love, I get dizzy. Tried my best to act cool through the roughest weather, had no cues. Now there will say our goodbyes. Now there will say our goodbyes. Now
It's like how the body heat. Trying to get the Facebook to go live. Waiting for live video, y'all, from Facebook.
candlelight in the city on a hill with a bottle of wine. You whispered those life-changing words and left me out of time. Where you end, I begin. You're my reflection, my connection to the whole. Melting into one. I lose myself in you, melting into one, melting into one, melting into one, melting into one. I give to you a perfect circle round my finger, a diamond that once was stone. You give these gifts to me on one knee, opening this world I've never known, melting into one, melting into one.
The sight sound of body heat, getting it ready. Getting it ready, y'all. Good morning. Live at 1.
You give these gifts to me on one knee, opening this world I've never known, melting into one.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. That's right, Saturday morning. Coming to you live. I'm in the robe, sitting down in the living room. Yes, Lord.
You whisper those life-changing words and lift me out of time.
Hey, everybody, it's Mario Hensley, planning on going live to you right around 1 p.m. Asking on steroids to get this up, but it looks like right now, and I'm saying this in a way that is hopeful, but it looks like we are streaming to Twitch, Pax Stereo, Periscope Mario Hensley, Twitch Mario Hensley, Periscope Pax Stereo, Roku, YouTube for Mario, YouTube for Pax Stereo, YouTube for Pax Stereo TV events. We're also streaming to my Facebook, and we're doing to Lula TV, which is unprecedented because we are streaming live today, this morning, to Instagram. So the additional thing is today we get to go live to Instagram, and what a wonderful day that it is. So thank you all for so much for being part of this experience. I'm here in the house getting ready for this broadcast that's coming up. We're going to talk this morning about the Corona update, and also I'm going to be talking about why I think marijuana is a drug of choice. Come and be part of it. Coming up, 1 o'clock. Get your head together.
Between two people with a feeling, deep, charismatic, compelling, creating a union that is telling, shining a light, shedding a glow, feeling your soul. From love arises a booming energy, sending the world.
Hello, Catherine.
There is more to show. As the love grows and kicks into full throttle, the fused unit produces a message that becomes a more powerful whole, even more powerful than the love in full.
We go here.
Good morning, y'all. Got Pennsylvania in the house. That's right, everybody's publishing. Not Corona. I gotta watch the Zoom one, y'all. Exactly, Brenda. That's right, Showtime coming up. Okay, Brenda, I gotta tell you guys about this music. Okay, so I'll try to put some links in there. Let me see. I'm gonna try to put in some of them. Man, I got a little everything happening here. Got Brenda Alexander. She wants to know about the music. I'm coming, y'all. That's why I'm getting settled in. Morning. That's right. That was Where Do We Go? The MIB mix featuring Melody Romancito. Now I've got a place. This music is free. We have to use this music. This is all part of the Creative Commons movement. I want you guys to be aware of that. Creative Commons. So it's music where artists have made the music available to you and your friends for free, right, while they retain their commercial rights. So we're part of this movement. We're embracing it. So I'm trying, and on the website, I'm locating it right now. On the website, I actually have a page I made called RCC Music Collection. And the idea was to make this stuff available. Now, if you want to go look yourself, you could go to dig.ccmixter.org, or you could Google it, Love Shadow, Creative Commons, and you'll find it. Love Shadow's got a bunch of music, you guys, out there. I'm looking, so where do we go? Let's see, what do we have? Oh, I do have it, okay. So I should be able to put a link. Let me see what I can do. I'm trying to do it. I have a link. If you go to our CC mixtape page, maybe I should put that in there and let y'all deal with that. But if I put that in there, then you guys can do it. Man, this stuff is, all these Facebook notices keep getting in the way of my stuff. All right, so I just put in a link to our CC music collection. That's where you can get that track. It's up there. Where do you go? The MIB mix. As we continue. Now, it's 1 o'clock, and it's just about that time to get everything going. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to my Zoom meeting. It's a day that's unique and different to me. And I'm up this morning watching the news, as you are, most of it coming from New York, a lot from other places, but we're watching things happen. And so I wanted to give you that update today and talk about it, but also invite you guys to, ask me whatever questions you may have about some of your interpretation, some of your understanding about what's going on. One of the things that I do with you guys is throughout my 30-year medical career, I prided myself in patient education. It was one of those things, I bonded to it very early in my career, and it was my desire to be the best doctor explaining things, the best. And because of that, for 30 years, when I went to a case in the emergency room, I took over the case. I didn't like to do consultations where I came in. No, if it's a pediatric case, they called me over, I took it over. Because I like the way that I interact with the patients. I prefer the way that I did it, and I prefer the way that I explained things. So that's part of my legacy, is patient education. And so now that I am retired, but facing the idea of potentially going back to work, then I get to return to those old habits. Now, I tell a bunch of you who don't know, I trained at LA County Hospital, LAC USC Medical Center, LAC/University of Southern California Medical Center, LA County, the big gray mother, where I trained there in pediatrics. I also worked there as a student when I was a medical student at USC. And I went on to join the faculty and run the ICU as the chief resident, where I ran the pediatric ICU, 24 on and 24 off. So I'm experienced with critical care. I can run ventilators, and running ventilators is kind of always the same kind of a thing when you run ventilators. Learning a new ventilator is sort of like learning a new phone in a lot of ways. You just have to get kind of update on the way it works, those kind of things, and then you use it. So I'm certainly capable of going back to work. I'm eyeballing the situation because, of course, with the crisis, I want to contribute. That's part of my whole makeup, that I want to contribute. But I don't want to be a sacrificial lamb or martyr in a system that's not credible, not set up in a way to do things. So that's part of the problem with the folks out there now. See, they're going to sacrifice a bunch of your healthcare workers, at least put them out of commission for a while because of the stupidity. You need those healthcare workers working. You need them doing overtime. You need them working their ass off. That's what you need. And they're used to it. But you got to give them space and give them the stuff to do their job. Give them the equipment, and let me tell you something. When I was at LA County, every year, 10% of the house staff turned up PPD positive. Let me say it in English. Every year, 10% of the doctors who were training turned positive for tuberculosis. Every year. Okay? So we're used to being in there in the middle of it, okay? Because infection control is one of those things. I've seen tuberculosis of everything. Everything, every place, every organ. Man, they talk about the disease of our time, and any doctor who trained around the time I trained, they know tuberculosis. So this is similar to the tuberculosis. in terms of you got to be careful, you got to practice good habits all the time. And even still, you forget stuff. I forget stuff. We all forget stuff. We're human beings. You know, I got some groceries delivered yesterday, and I was like, am I going to do all this grocery stuff? The groceries are all sealed in the bag with a tape sealer. So I opened all the groceries, took the bags, folded them all up to put them in the trash. I ended up putting them in the fireplace. And then I just washed my hands. Wash my hands real good. So with every contact I have with the outside, I wash my hands. But you know, the problem is, again, people tell you things to be perfect. And it's hard to be perfect in these kinds of situations, but of course I can understand you trying. One of the big things that's coming out today, actually over the last few days, is the disproportionate numbers of blacks and Hispanics who are being affected by this virus. This is what I told you guys. At first, I was getting tons of calls from people who were actually going, well, I don't see no black people with this. To which I responded, do you think black people are super? You have a super thing? Okay, because these are the same people who say black people don't have it are the same ones who go right to, well, they made the virus for black people. You kind of can't, like one of my buddies, I told him, you can't embrace every conspiracy, okay? I got a buddy, it don't make no difference. Whatever the conspiracy come down the line, he's, I told you. So, you know, you can't embrace every conspiracy, but the truth is, like I told you, they weren't testing you. You'll have, under 2% of the population tested? Do you understand that we need to test probably the whole U.S. population and that a bunch of the healthcare workers need to be tested repeatedly? If you're negative, how often should they be tested? Every week? Because the minute the healthcare worker gets it, they're giving it to other people. Okay? So how often are you going to test the healthcare workers? So you need all the healthcare workers who are not sick, who haven't had it, tested weekly in the whole United States. Okay? And then you need surveillance testing all around the United States just to determine where you need to focus your efforts. So 327 million, I think that's what that was Los Angeles, it's just 320, Los Angeles was 327 million, and that was 800,000 tests if you only test 20% of the population. We need to test going to be part of the next outbreak. Assume this. Once things get better, then you have a bunch of people out there who have not had it. If there is no vaccine, then once everything gets better, those people are sitting there waiting to get sick. They are sitting there, they are set up. The only thing with all of this assumes that at some point in time we're going to have a vaccine, of which is not going to be 100% effective. Flu vaccines range from 40 to 60% effective, usually. Now, believe me, there may be some more information I'm learning too. I Google and I go to some of the same sources that you do. CDC, World Health Organization, all of them. But all of these vaccines always have published efficacy rates, and they're never 100%. Never have they been that. Okay? And they also wane with time. So any vaccine you get will not give you usually lifetime immunity. Okay? There's a length of time that these things last. The information they're giving you right now about corona has to do with their experience with other viruses. We don't know for sure how long your immunity will last, both your natural immunity for those who contract the virus, or we don't know what any of the immunity will be once you have a vaccine. So we don't know. Typically, immunity for these things lasts around a year or so. We feel like you get the flu shot, it helps you for that year, roughly. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. But the issue is that this is the way, and you guys have got to get used to taking information in the form in which it's being distributed. Which, and let me not talk about Trump. I'm talking about from the real medical people. Things are never a certainty. With under 2% of the entire United States being tested, I can't speak with any facts. I don't know how long people are immune after they have it. They don't know. That's one of the questions. After you have the disease, how long are you immune? So everything we're using is based on experience, what they have from before. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. So everything is based on past experience. Okay? Now, here's the other part I guess we should talk a little bit about. Because of my experience in pediatric intensive care, I've taken care of horrible viral disease that has killed children. Everything from herpes encephalitis. When you get the unusual response to chicken pox and it goes to your brain, I took care of that. Okay? I took care of the kids who develop adult respiratory type syndromes because their lungs just totally whited out. So, I have experience. So let me just tell you, the treatment for this is supportive. Now let me say what that means. That means we don't have a real treatment to attack the virus. So we support you until your body heals. Do you understand what that means? In other words, we can't directly attack what's getting to you, but we can support you while your body heals. And what I mean by support you, if you can't breathe, we breathe for you. If you need oxygen, we give you oxygen. If you can't drink, we give you an IV. The reason why antibiotics are discussed is because the number one complication of almost every viral infection of the chest is to get a bacterial infection on top of that. In other words, you get a flu or something, then you get a bacterial pneumonia on top of that virus. So the most common complication of these type of viral infections is a bacterial superimposed infection, okay? And which is usually the same type of bacteria that's already in your lungs. In other words, the virus weakens you, and so the things that infect you are the bacteria that are already within your system, okay? So, if everybody who has overwhelming lung disease, usually in ICU, they're going to put you on an antibiotic. No one thinks that's going to make the difference. No one. It's just that when you have terrible lung disease, and I'm looking at the x-ray, which is whited out, you can't tell if there's infection there, no way, because it's all full of fluid, okay? And half the time they have fever. So they have fever, the chest x-ray looks bad from the virus, you can't tell what's virus or whatever. And so those are the cases in which we give you antibiotics. No one believes that that is the thing that's going to save you. No one, okay? Let's be clear. So whenever I had a kid who had terrible lung disease on a ventilator, yes, very often they had an antibiotic. Most times they did. That was because we were afraid of superimposed infection. You can't prove it by looking at the x-ray, which is totally abnormal anyway. And so because of that, we put them all on antibiotics. Did we think for a second that that was the determining factor? No. Most of that lung disease is the virus. There may be some superimposed bacterial infection, but most of it. So, everything about this is about the vaccine, okay? Let's be clear. With diseases like this, viral pandemics, treatment almost never is what's going to happen. What's happening is you need the vaccine. That's going to take, I don't know no vaccines they do in a year. Tell me. I'm waiting to be alerted to this, because I've never seen them make a vaccine that fast. Never. My whole 30 plus years of practice in medicine. The other thing I'll remind you, once they make the vaccine, it needs to be tested. They don't have 100% efficacy. Google it yourself. You know, Google it yourself. A bunch of them do not have, so 40 to 60%, I don't know, and all that's important, I don't know, but let's see, maybe they'll do better. We think that it takes the disease and makes it easier for you to tolerate by having these things. Sometimes we even give the vaccine later. Now let me talk about this antibody thing, because it turns out I was kind of happy. I actually had one of those moments where I kind of remembered things from medical school. And I was, you know, as we get old, y'all know how we get. So I was like, oh, good Lord, I got it right. The whole thing with the antibodies and the testing has to do with the timetable of your body's antibody response. In other words, when your body gets exposed to an infection, it develops a response, but it takes a while to do that. The first response is IgM. It's considered like the immediate, rapid antibody response, okay? And that can take, as far as I had learned, like a few days, 2 to 3 days, and it's somewhere around that. Now, after you get an IgM response, you also are getting some other responses, IgA, which is an antibody that tends to be in your mouth and other places. But the big ones they talk about are IgM, which is the early phase reactant. It's the first antibody that is produced, but it's not as specific. It's not as specific. Your body can produce IgM antibodies, and they may not work that well, okay? Now, the IgG antibodies, which usually occur about 3 weeks out, those are more specific. That is what tends to make you well. 2 to 3 weeks, you get an IgG response. It tends to cause the virus to get under control, and you get better. That's more the typical pattern. So that's why you're sick a couple weeks, sometimes more. That's that. So by testing for the presence of those antibodies is how you determine people's exposure. If you test them and they have all IgM, they mean that they have recently, 2 to 3 days, have been exposed. And if they have no IgG and IgM, it tells you they have recently been exposed, but they haven't had it 2 to 3 weeks because they have no IgG response, okay? Now, if they have an IgM and IgG response, you know they have had the disease, okay? They have the antibodies too, the late phase antibodies. The issue is that some people who have the late phase antibodies still have the virus. They're shedding it. When I say shedding it, it's come out of their saliva, in their semen. I love to tell you that one. Everywhere. It comes out of everything. So some of those people who have IgG are still contagious. We need to know who they are. That's why you need to have the testing everywhere like crazy. You need to know how many people have the virus and are not getting sick. You need to know, of all the people who get the virus and do not get sick, how long is that antibody lasting to protect them? So they've had it, they didn't even know they had it. They have IgG, how long would that last? Now, some of us who got sick earlier, I got sick in February, I'm hoping like hell that was corona. Because I had a cold-like symptoms for a month. Now, if they were to test me as a potential healthcare worker, they could tell me if I had IgG, IgM, and then they would also need to test me to see if I had antigen or some kind of a viral culture, probably antigen, to see if I'm still contagious. Now, they need to do that for every healthcare worker. And like I said, if I was negative for corona, how often do they need to repeat my testing if I'm working with patients? Every week? Let me tell you something. If they had a rapid 15-minute test, do you know that you would do your healthcare workers every day they showed up to work? Imagine how many tests that is. If you had a rapid corona test, you would test every healthcare worker, every person in the hospital, from housekeeping to dietary. If you had a rapid 15-minute test, you would want to test every healthcare worker at every hospital, damn near every day. You can make the argument. Because we need to make sure the people working in the hospitals are not carrying it or spreading it. So you need a literally ton of testing. That's what they're getting. They're talking to you about 1 million tests. They need to produce 5 million tests a day. They still won't be catching up. We need to test in the hospital around the corona people, and you may need to test them repeatedly. You decide what you think. Every week good enough for you? They go in there 7 days a week working with corona people. You happy if we test them once a week? I don't know. Don't make me smile. You might need to test them more often. Okay? And they need to test out there in the community to determine where things are occurring. It's when you do that testing that we can allocate events. The other stuff they're not doing, you guys, which is obviously stupid, you need to have a national hit squad where you move these professionals around the whole United States. Let me tell you something. The doctors that have already had corona and got over it, they're posting that they feel like Superman. They walk to the hospital, come on, corona. You feel shit. You know, once you get it, you super. If you over it, we need to know if you've had it and you're over it, because then you can go to work. In fact, they got overtime for you. Now, the thing is, all these unemployed people, they have new jobs for them. Remember, this is the time where you see welfare for the rich. They are looking out that the monies that they put out should have been reversed. They should have given the workers the majority of it and a little bit to the businesses, and just the small businesses. The big businesses shouldn't get any help. I'll say that again. Airlines, automobile, they should get no help. They got billions they're sitting on. They should use their savings. Okay? Who they should be helping is the little businesses who don't have no savings. They should be helping them, and they should be giving the money directly to you. In other countries, they're giving money directly to the people. All you're going to do is take the money and go spend it at businesses. The business is going to get money. If they give you money, what are you going to do? Pay your rent, buy some groceries. Okay? So when they give you that money, they're going to be putting money into the system, but they don't want to do that. They talk about us leftist people capitalizing on coronavirus when it's really all these right-wing Republicans who are capitalizing. And let me tell you something. This is an area which I am not happy with the Democrats. So this is an area where this is exactly why I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. Okay, why I'm an indie. Because both of them fucked you on the money. Okay, it's just a matter of degree. I know the Democrats are going to say, well, we made sure that they got some more crumbs. That's the way it usually works. The Republicans don't give you shit, and the Democrats give you crumbs. And you get happy for that. That's the way it's been working. That's why I'm not a part of either one of those parties. But like everybody else, I'll swallow the vomit in my throat and vote for Joe Biden. I will literally swallow the vomit welling up in my throat as I vote for Joe Biden, who is a sorry-ass candidate. So once again, if we lose, remember, you Democrats, just like with Hillary, once again, you brought us a sorry-ass candidate and then asked us to vote for them. So I'm sorry, I had to vent on that. But don't worry, we will. To get rid of Trump, we'll vote for your sorry-ass, weak-ass Democratic candidate who's the same old shit and won't do nothing. Okay? Because that's what he is. He's the same old shit who won't do nothing. So, whatever. You know, I'm so sick of this. See, I trained at L.A. County Hospital, you guys. I know how they treat immigrants and poor people. They treat you like shit. They let you die. Know that people died. When I was in training, they died all the time. All the time. From lack of care, lack of resources. Martin Luther King Hospital here in Los Angeles, they died all the time. They had such a problem at Martin Luther King Hospital that the ambulances couldn't get the ambulances unloaded. They were pulling up to Martin Luther King with people sick and dying, and the residents were climbing onto the ambulances to start therapy because they had no room in the hospital. This was every day. This is how I trained. This is what they've been doing to you forever. Forever. And every black doctor should be outraged, because most of us know. But the white ones know too. If you know, they know. My friends know what happens at county. They know what's happened to the care. One nurse on a floor. Do you know that? On pediatrics, they had one RN on a floor of IVs. And they couldn't even get to all IVs, so when the IVs would clot off because they would go dry, you had to run up there and start an IV. That's the way I train. That's third world medicine. That's what they bringing you. Ghetto economics. So if I'm mad, I defy any of these experts to come up here and challenge me. I got my credential. You can Google that shit. And I trained in it. And I'm speaking right on it. So fuck the experts. Listen to me. They got bullshit waiting for you. And unless you stand up and start demanding it, they will continue to fuck you. I will be okay. I got Kaiser for life. I'm on a fixed income. I'm worried about you. And also the fact that my fixed income don't mean shit now because I got to look out for family and friends. Now I'm broke. And I got money. But if I start calculating in all the people I know sick that I might have to help or feed, then I'm broke. So we all upset. Even those of you doing okay, you feeling like me, I know nurses, retired, some of my friends, they taking care of their family. They got unemployed children. Their children lost their job. They moving in with them. And this ain't gonna change, you guys, so let's get to the other topic. I'm trying to be real. If you have any questions, let me know. It's going to go. Okay, you guys, the real let up can't occur till this time next year. Even if you have a blip at an opening, you have so many people. See, this is what they're saying. We were counting on the weather changing everything, because usually with the flu and other things, when the weather gets warm, it seems to change. That doesn't seem to be the case here. We don't know, because the virus is so new. It's so new to your system that it's going to be infecting people, they think, forever. Imagine this, you guys. We do all this lockdown, and then in June we start to let up. You know what's going to happen? You're going to get a resurgence of disease in June. The minute you let up, all those populations, they talk about, oh, there's none here, but they ain't tested. Those are the ones who are going to get it. So the truth is, the rate of infection looks to continue ongoing endlessly until you get a vaccine. Till you get a vaccine, then things will change. But until that, and let me tell you something, Brenda's talking about her bad experience in Kaiser. You think I didn't run into asshole doctors in Kaiser? Let me tell you some of my asshole doctor experiences in Kaiser. Because no, I was in their ass too, because I didn't give a shit. Kaiser tried to promote me so many times, you guys. They offered me 3 head of the department jobs, okay? Wanted to send me to Kaiser school and all that shit. And I was ready, and I had to be on the down low because I was doing my stuff. I didn't want all their things. But I remember at Kaiser, I was at a meeting over the ER, and we were meeting over the weights in the ER. Okay? So it was a bunch of us, the ER doctors, and a couple of the doctors, their point was that a 3-hour wait was pretty much the standard in Los Angeles, and therefore we shouldn't be worried about it. That a 3-hour wait in the ER was the standard. And I said to the doctor, so you're saying that you're okay with a 3-hour wait in the ER? I said, well, I bet you won't let me nail your name to that statement and post it on the wall. I bet you ain't got the guts for that. That's the kind of shit people say in meetings and they'll never say in public. I dare you to say that in public. You think that Kaiser should have 3-hour waits in the ER? Shut his ass up. Shut his ass up. And that's who I was at Kaiser for 30 years. They had me coming to every meeting to ignore everything I said For 30 years. That's what they did. Or they might have did something every now and then. They had me in every goddamn committee they could find. Had me doing speeches and talks and all that shit. Okay? And still it's people, so you have to go into meetings with people who are so busy trying to kiss ass on the people above them that they make no change. So doctors, as you notice, doctors don't really lead a whole bunch of revolutions. By nature, doctors are people who follow instructions. They're a bunch of sheep. By nature, they're sheep, they're followers, they don't make waves. They're not leftists, liberals, radicals. Okay, so most of the doctors ain't doing shit. Okay, what you see are the doctors who are concerned, who are activists. That's the ones you see. You know where most of the doctors are? At home in a wonderful house, sitting by the pool, worried about their Keo. That's where most of the doctors are. Sorry, I'm trained. Doctors are not a group that makes me proud. I have, in my 30 years, I make a point of separating myself out from the physicians of America, because most of them ain't worth a goddamn. Okay? All right? That's my feeling. Fuck them all. I trained it out of LA County. You know how many racists were working around me, around those immigrants? Do you know how many people who worked with me at LA County were hating on Mexicans? Some of those doctors would actually sit down and lunch with me at LA County and talk about Mexicans. And I was thinking, damn, I'm black. I know what you think of me. Please, the medical system is racist, long history, is documented. If you want to know, I have a website on it called unequaltreatment.com. Let me see if I can find it. Because I put up a website that was all about the studies they did that showed how you know what kind of treatment you get in the ER depends on what you look like. Don't come in the ER with a bunch of tattoos. Don't come in the ER with a bunch of tattoos coding. Okay, you may not get no treatment. Okay, I'm just telling you, the studies are there. Once if you come in the ER looking like a gang member, you are going to be left to die. They are going to put a cursory effort on your and people say, oh no, not in mine. Well, maybe not in your ER, but in some, it depends where you are. I've seen the police. Don't even get to me what the police do to people, bringing them into the ER. They don't even get to that. Okay, because the police be all up in it. Okay, I'm just telling you, because when you in the ER, you get to see what because the police will kick their ass and bring them in. Okay, bring them into you. Don't think I ain't seen that. Okay, at County Hospital, they made it a point. You people coming there acting a goddamn fool, you call security at county. Call security at County Hospital. They will come and whip somebody's ass. I called security a couple of times, and boom, 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 boom. You thought the damn SWAT team was coming in. So, your medical system is biased. You need to stay out for a year. Well, it's like this. No, I'll say it this way. You need to stay out until there is a vaccine and you have the vaccine and it's proven to work. How's that? You need to stay out until you have the vaccine and it's been proven to work. Who do you send back to work? The people you send back to work are the people who you've tested, are recovered, and are no longer contagious. They go back to work. Then the other people that you've tested who are negative and healthy, they can't go to work till they get a vaccine. Okay, Brenda's getting mad talking about cops in the ER. Brenda, I know. Brenda, me too. Brenda, I'm sorry, I lost my temper because this is how personal this is to us. I live this shit. And had me crying, okay? Because all this time I was praying to my God that I could be worthy. See, all that did, when they treated you like shit, even as a student, I just started trying to work harder, work longer, try hard to talk to you, practice my Spanish. Because they got to me, And I decided I was going to be part of the solution. So some of us are out there, the healthcare workers you're seeing, they're dedicated. You don't know how many people I know who are wonderful. More nurses and doctors. I hate that because I know tons of wonderful nurses and a few wonderful doctors. How's that? I know one thing. If I went to lunch, I didn't feel like having them all come sitting with me. How's that? And here they come. Can't even go to lunch. Here come the motherfuckers coming. They can't even get a table at the lunch. Mario. Oh, God. Because for me, I don't know what it's about me, but the most racist asshole people seem to love me. I don't know what it is about me. Maybe because they can sense my asshole side. But I get it. So, the point is, get ready for the long haul. Work on your finances. Work that out. Consider the future and that you may have to take on a different kind of job. Some of those service jobs will not come back for years. There is a new normal. And the new normal, I told you, so how long does it take to have real normal? You have to have real normal. You have to have global testing, certainly at least national testing. A vaccine being distributed nationally, not just being distributed, a vaccine that has been distributed, that is already out in the community. Then we need to see how that vaccine is working before you send people back to group. And I keep telling you, all those places that don't have vaccine, and again, they ain't testing, they're going to have a resurgence. That's what you're seeing in Wuhan. That's right, Warner. And sometimes it's worse. So you going to send your kids back to school? Shit. Okay? No, you ain't. I don't know how y'all going to figure this out. You got a year to 2 years to figure out how we are going to deal with this shit, how you going to deal with your kids. We have a year to 2 years. That's why Pax Stereo went on hiatus. Because I've got to figure out how to do everything differently. Everything differently. With a different focus. I got to do everything differently with a different focus because now is the time. That's why we're doing this stuff with Zoom. I'm trying to check to see. I'm going back because I have to keep both of them open to see if people. So remember, you can get in that broadcast. If you want to come live and you want to talk, you can follow that link and you can come into the broadcast and you're able to talk and communicate with me. Okay? All right? So keep that in mind. Okay? But you're not going back to normal for some time. You, me, if you work, all the restaurant people, you screwed. You screwed. I had just found the most wonderful chicken place. Remember y'all posted that fried chicken? Oh, I was so used to eating out. Man, that shit is gone. Lucky I can cook. I'm back cooking. The other thing is don't let up in terms of getting yourself prepared. If you have some money, try to slowly stock up on things. Get things that will last, like beans and rice, canned goods. Right now, water is not the big deal because you have a tap that works. I don't know, unless we get an earthquake, you have tap water and heat, gas, but you might want to, stock up on all those things. I'm stocking up because I have to share. It's only me. I got no wife and no children, but I got a bunch of friends and people I love. So I'm stocking up, I got stuff coming. I got like 8 of those the detergents coming. I got I'm buying 4 to 8 of everything. But lucky I got some means. What if you ain't got the money to buy that? I spent like $400 some bucks on grocery stuff delivered. Who got that? Everybody ain't got that. They go out there and spend $120 on paper goods. Most people ain't got that. That's not right. And people have to deal. So like I said, I want them to give you a check every month. Forget $1,200 one time. They need to be giving you 3 to 4 or 5 grand every month, indefinitely. That's Emel. That's my buddy. He's my Emel. I'm on the air. I always tell Emel is my friend. He's my leftover friend because he always gets the leftovers when I cook. In fact, I call him and say, I got some leftovers for you. He's my buddy. I cooked some spaghetti, so he's supposed to come get. I cooked y'all saw that spaghetti I put on Facebook, that spaghetti casserole. So I got to give at least half of that to Emel. Take over there to his house. So he's doing a broadcast later today. What's happening, buddy?
Hey, Sarah. I was calling to say, Ian, I just talked to Ian. He's at the hospital. His stepson was in a car accident. So it doesn't look like we'll be able to do anything today.
Is his stepson okay?
Yes. I'm getting details right now. We're having issues talking, so he's texting me right now with
all right.
updates for what's happening.
Well, if you need any help from me, you let me know.
Of course. I just wanted, I just got off the phone. This shit is just happening. So, if you're going to text me and let me know what's happening, it looks like everybody's okay, but it does look like it was serious enough that he had to go to the hospital.
Well, that's the thing. So he was in a car accident. He had to go to the hospital, but he's okay.
Yes.
So now he just has to deal with the fact that he's been exposed to corona.
Maybe.
Yeah, because if you're at the hospital, you're exposed to corona. Okay. So let's just hope Ian and them don't get something else on top of this. So God bless it, and we'll send our prayers out to him. But let him know if there's anything I can help with, I'm available.
Okay, I'll do just that. I'll get updates, and I'll text you if I know anything. So, like I said, it was cutting out. All I heard was hospital. His stepson was and then he texted me afterwards because the line was terrible. My stepson was in a car accident. So I'm just trying to put this together as well.
No, I know. Go on, and I'll talk to you later. This is what happens, you guys. We have to deal with our own emergencies while we're in the pandemic. Okay, buddy. Just let me know.
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm coming over tomorrow. I'll call you before I come.
All right. Love you, dude.
Love you too, dude.
Bye.
All right.
Hey, and this time of like this, I'm making sure I tell all my male friends I love them, too. All my friends. I can't hug them. But, man, I'm telling all my friends, I tell people you love them. This is the time. Shit. Don't hold back on the love. Let that flow. Shit. I'm sorry. All this cursing. See, that's what happens. The regular old Mario start coming out, you guys. That's the regular old Mario. Yeah, we're lucky we got soap and water. We can bathe and wash our hands. That's the best thing. If you go out, when you come in, wash your clothes. Some people are all funny about it. They undress at the door and all this. See, I don't know if all that gets you extra. Yes, sometimes you can do all that shit for extra 1% of protection. I don't know. But I know you should use common, reasonable things. Wash your hands. Wash your clothes. Try not to go out. If you go out, come back and wash your clothes. But it makes a difference. If you go out and you're around a bunch of sneezing, coughing people, then the cough it'll help, but shit. It may not be enough. But certainly if you're around people who are sick, you got to wash and get rid of those clothes. If you're not, well, maybe it's not as important. Maybe you just need to come in and wash your hands. But you do need to do. Now, so that's the Corona update. Anybody else got any update questions first on the Corona update? Then, if not, I'm going to go to the second topic. So first to go, do the Corona update. People are talking about the mask. Some of my masks. Remember, the mask is really serves to stop the people from sneezing and coughing their droplets and mucus out on you. The first thing people would do when you go to the tuberculosis ward, they put a mask on everybody because they're coughing out clouds of tuberculosis. So the mask is there mainly to protect the other people. because it keeps their snot and mucus and cough juice all in. Since your eyes are not covered, you're still vulnerable to splash droplets. So if they cough in your face, that mask protects your nose, which is often the primary portal of entry, but it can enter a bunch of other places, your mouth, your eyes. So if they cough in your face, your eyes is the portal. When we got into the times of HIV, the operating rooms could change because all the surgeons had masks that covered their whole face to protect them from splatter. See, from splatter. So remember, when you're wearing that mask, the mask is to keep your stuff from getting out. It's not really protecting you. Okay? They're having you wear it as a community practice to protect the other people. Okay? Okay? So that's why you can make a bandana. Now, of course, some of the brothers will say they went into a store with a bandana and security jumped on them. Here we go. Here we don't be black coming in with extra shit. Ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work. Now, some stuff just be changing, you guys. I don't even know what's happening sometime. Okay, something came up. Oh, Zoom restarted or something. Okay. All right. So now, let me talk to you about why medical marijuana is my drug of choice. First of all, let's talk about drugs. And I'm going to have a little smoke while I'm here. By the way, let's talk about marijuana, because I've been smoking all morning. Do you detect any euphoria on my part? I've been smoking marijuana since I got up. Do you detect any euphoria on my part? No, you don't, because there is none. Okay, I smoke marijuana for calm, to soothe me. So let's talk about medical marijuana. And I'm having a bowl while we do this. Certain drugs are known to cause you to be violent. They're documented. It's a pharmacologic effect of the drug. Alcohol is known to make people violent. If you look it up, alcohol also is known to complicate almost every disease. And when you look at an emergency room statistics, for adults especially, most of the time, whatever they have is being complicated by their use of alcohol. Alcohol is the gateway drug. Because everybody's always worried about gateway drugs. Alcohol is the gateway drugs for our children because their parents introduced them to it. They learned to drink from their mom and dad. Okay? So alcohol actually is one of the worst drugs to use right now. You know, in New York and a bunch of other places, liquor stores were put on the essential list. Liquor stores. Now, there's a drug that's going to make you violent. Go home and start getting drunk every day because you can't deal with Corona. So you're going to go home and drink a 6-pack every day because of Corona. Okay? Go on. You know, Corona's going to do that. So you're going to see that. So you don't need to drink. This is the time where you really should not be drinking because the drug pharmacologically is going to make you angry. It's going to exacerbate your feelings of being locked in. All of that stuff is going to make worse. Hi there, Ken. We got Ken in the room. Now, marijuana actually has the opposite kinds of effects. That's why it's actually good for PTSD. The reasons why marijuana is good for PTSD is exactly the reason that I smoke weed. When I became a doctor, they made me so hyper. They changed me so much in order to adjust to medicine, to learning. I remember one of my friends visited me. He said, I've been over here for 2 hours. You have not sat down to talk to me. You've been talking, walking the whole time. I remember one time I looked up, I was watching TV for an hour standing up. Didn't even know how to slow down. I started smoking marijuana regularly in the first year of medical school. Second semester of medical school, first year, is when I started smoking weed. Because they were driving me crazy. The phone would ring and I would damn near get palpitations. I was so happy. All I could do was study all day, all night. I didn't even know what was going on. So I started smoking marijuana in medical school. Now, marijuana is known to calm the savage beast. Now, let me give you an example. Now, remember, I've been smoking all morning. I keep reminding you. Y'all have seen me smoking on air many times. Have you seen any euphoria? Any laughter? Hee hee hee. Hee hee. Huh? I get none of that, no munchies, none of that shit. And I'm smoking grade A weed all the time. And I say all the time, all day, every day. Okay? Now, that's just the truth. Now, weed works for me, marijuana works for me because, let me give you the exact examples that I think it works best. You know how when people are aggravating you, people you love, your mom or your dad, your auntie, and you kind of want to choke them a little bit, or just like scream at them or shake them, okay? And you go away and you don't do any of that, but you have that seething anxiety in you. Weed is great for that. Weed is great when you're so angry that you're like trembling, okay, but you can't do anything. You're mad at your boss, your job, for all the things that you can't reach out and strike back. Weed is good for that because weed will soothe your savage soul. It's like the gas flame, you guys. It goes from up high to that low simmer mode when I smoke weed. It makes me calmer. That's the effect that I love, and that's the effect that people with PTSD experience. That's why marijuana is being shown to be the drug that works great for that. And I've told people all along, keep your medical marijuana card, because medical marijuana dispensaries are also essential. They're health care providers. So the medical marijuana shops here are open. And know that I went twice and stocked up. I got weed all over the house. I am stocked. Enough weed. Believe me, I was scared shitless. I'm around weed, oh Lord. So, and they got weed, just so you, they got people, they deliver weed, medical marijuana. They also will deliver recreational, I think, but I don't know how they're pulling that off legally. Okay? So, I'm not sure. Ken is still trying to, what are you doing, Ken? All right, well, it's the bandwidth. We having bandwidth issues over here, and that's part of it. So what I'm telling you guys is I think that you should, if you have to, just be cautious. Just be cautious. I see a guest coming, but I don't know who you are. See, should we okay these guests? When we don't know who they are, let's see. Let's have some excitement. I'm gonna meet somebody. Let's see if I hope it's somebody with some sexual pictures. I've been trying to get me some, even though Pornhub is free. I was saying if some of the women out there want to embrace me, give an old man a thrill, you can send me a little shot, little picture. So what my thing is with this, I'm gonna tend to let people in the room. If they act a fool, we'll put them out the room. But until then, we'll put them in the room. Now, so here we go. Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hello?
What's going on, Mario?
Hi there. What's happening, Ken?
Oh, man, just checking in, man. Checking in.
I'm over here at the house and I'm surviving Corona.
Well, I'm just staying 6 feet away, man.
Ken is one of my good friends. He's one of the... Huh?
I said, I'm just staying 6 feet away.
Well, it ain't working. Guys. All right, we got some bandwidth issues, so keep that in mind. If you want to join the broadcast, you could join. You'll be able to comment. You'll be able to do those things. I'm able to manage our participants, so join there. We had just my buddy Ken Matthews he's the coach over at Dorsey High. There's a bunch of stuff with the kids. One of the reasons why I stay involved with the kids is Ken. So thank you, Ken. And he's here. He looks out for me. One of my friends who look out for me. So thank you, Ken. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna mute everybody, you guys. Oh wait, somebody else is trying to come in. All right, I'm gonna let people in because I don't. And if we get somebody who acts crazy, I don't care. We just have to we'll close them out. You know, so don't wait. When somebody come in the room and shows their penis, you know, we'll comment on the penis. Like, oh well, let's. You know, is that it? You know, I've seen many a penis. You know, especially as physicians. So if someone wants to come in and act a fool, we'll tolerate it. We'll let them do it, and we'll cut them out. We won't freak out. They can't show us nothing that we ain't never heard or seen before, right? You know, if someone was to call me nigga, I'd go like, oh wow, you called me nigga. My heart's broken. I've never been called nigga before. Please, I've been called nigga by a cop pointing a shotgun 2 inches from my nose. Okay? So I know about that. So that don't bother me. So if they come in the room, do anything, we'll be okay. So I want you guys to know we're going to be doing more of these programmings. I'm not going to do it forever. Today's program was on two things. I'm always going to give you the Trump update, but then I'm going to talk about the other items I think important. My item for the day was be careful with the drinking. Be careful with the drinking. It is not a good drug. It is a drug that makes you violent and hostile. If you have to do something, consider smoking weed. Smoking weed will make you feel relaxed, calm. You'll be able to sit out in the yard, take a moment to chill. And the weed is so strong today, you'll need very little. If you haven't been smoking, you could buy the cheapest weed they got in the store. Get the lowest, because all of that is still 10 times more potent than what they had 20 years ago. So you could go into the store and get the weakest, cheapest weed, you will be fine. And then you'll be able to sit at home and you'll be able to tolerate your children, your wife or husband, your family members. You'll be able to tolerate them better because you won't be wanting to choke them out. Because the weed will help you. All right? So I'm Marlon Hemsley. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some music. I'm going to play a track right now because you need some music to make you feel happy. So let's play some music for a second. Here we go. It's supposed to play. I think it's playing. Come on, the whole thing. I'm telling you, see, that's the thing. Half the stuff is not working good today. No, I don't want to fix that now. No. Just play the song. It won't play. All right, we'll work on it. Try this song. They said the internet connection is bad. That's what's. So I'm going to mute you all. I'm going to mute you all. And I'm going to try to get the music once again playing. Somehow it's not playing. Let's see what it is. Okay, so I think that's just iTunes being a stupid bitch. Excuse me. See how it is, you guys? See how the corona got me acting? Y'all know I don't want to be cursing like that. The corona be bringing out my other side. Y'all know I got another side, right? You know, I'm just saying, y'all know I got another side, right? All right, so the corona keep bringing out that side. And I don't know. I'm trying to play some music in the. Okay, so I guess my computer's just tripping. Yeah, my computer's just tripping. It acts like you don't want to do stuff for me. Because I'm trying to play something and they said, part of the thing is this internet connection. You know how we do it over here in the ghetto. It's not happening the same. I'm trying to play this track for you. Here's some music finally. I smoked some weed. Hope you got some weed. Grow some weed and making some money selling it in the community. We need that. Hi, Lachelle. Miss Sargent in the house. Jasmine Brown. Brenda Alexander. All of y'all. Warner Williams. Tony Boyd. Catherine Dorsey. Spragley. Terry Cheatham. Let's put on the background. But now I see that I was wrong. The truth is I have nothing if I don't have you. So baby, come back to me. Come back to me. Come back. So baby, come back to me. Too many nights have been mornings. How you like that? In my time, you come back, beware. Come back. Come on, Irv, why don't you come get the broadcast for Kitty and I? How you like that, Ken? Now, I muted you guys, but you can unmute yourself. Oh, Ken don't have his audio hooked up. Okay. Yeah, now remember, you guys, you can interact. Part of the reason for doing this broadcast like this, you guys, is that they have the free account at Zoom. I tell you guys all to play with that to do these calls with your family and friends. So go get the free account at Zoom. Now, I pay for the pro account, which is $15 a month, not much, but I can have up to 300 people in here. That means we can share music without all this copyright crap. So you could join in and be part of it. Since Irvin Foster, my writing partner, is in the booth, in the chat room, I think I should play something for Irvin just to be sure. Something by the Hensley Foster Project, right, Irv? So let's see. Let's see, Irv. What do you want, Irv? What do you want me to play? See, we have the Hensley Foster Project. We can get something by us into the room. And so that's the question. What should we play? And I got a new song coming, you guys. It's kind of dark, but it's a good song. It's as a writer, you write stuff. Sometimes it's from periods of time. So one of the song I recently wrote, I don't have the vocals done yet, but I wrote this song, and it's really from a period of time long ago. It's not from today. And so, but it's coming soon, and you'll get a chance to hear it. Just not right away. Now, because when you got a song like this, you need to have somebody sing this bad boy, because it's kind of a dark lyric. But I think you guys would like the song. Anyway, let's see. Maybe I can, I don't know what I can play. Because the song is kind of slow and mellow. I only have the track. See? Here's the instrumental version to my new song. The new track by Mario Hensley. It's a dark song. I'll tell you the title at the end. The reason you don't know me is you would have to show me what hurts inside of you, leaving me walls I can't break through. Only, why does it have to be me only? I want for you to feel, maybe then we both can heal. Your love is like a suicide, like a scarred like a suicide. Won't go there. Things I won't share. And loving you. There are things I won't do. Me. You know I love you. Our love is like a suicide. Like a scar that you learn to like. Coming soon. It's called Love is Like a Suicide. I know, it's from a long time ago. So I got a happy song too. I just was finishing this one. So you're gonna hear the finished version coming up soon. If I get Paul Russo to play sax on it, Niels to play some guitar, maybe Tony Boy to play some bass. This is just a rough mix too. I had to get my mix stuff back up. Bad connection, y'all. The name of the song is Love is Like Suicide. Yeah, there's a part. The chorus, I think. Your love is like a Your love is like a suicide. Your love is like a suicide. Like a lie that you don't deny. You don't even try to hide. Your love is like a suicide. Like a scar that you learn to like. Your love is like suicide. Sad song. But anyway, I also got a remake of Smells Like Teen Spirit coming too. So this song, anyway, it's a very simple song. That's why I got to add the lyrics before I guess you guys will be able to hear the stuff. But you know, it's that kind of a song. Written from a long time ago. Back when I had a different point of view, which it ain't the way today. I wrote a love song to God. Yeah, I did this song. It was a love song long time ago whenever I did the first album, I had a track. We did a track together. It's called "Never Give Up," and the song is actually one that's really written. Never give up. Hemsley Foster. See this, my software, everything's acting so crazy to get you guys. You guys have to forgive me because I can't get stuff to act right. The music is, the stuff is. I think it's part of the internet today with all you guys being on. I'm trying to see if we can find something by the Hemsley Foster Project. Irvin in the software. I might have to reboot my computer. All right, it's just not responding. So I'm trying to play one more track. Let's see if this will. Never give up. Let's see. Never give up. Never. Never. Come on. Come on. You could do it. Neil, you could do it. Never give up. Come on, computer. You can do it. Here it goes. Never Give Up by the Hemsley Foster Project. Wow. Well, I tell you what you can do. Let's do this. You can go to SoundCloud and get it. Yeah, my computer's. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm probably going to sign off in a little bit. If I can't get it to do any better, right now the computer is doing a bunch of stuff. It may just be that we're having a big demand right now on Saturday because people are home. Let's see, we so far we're trying to see if we can get stuff to go. Hemsley Foster Project. So here we go. Well, anyway, that kind of a day. We're attempting to play some music for you. Look like it's not working. I think I might just have to shut down and join you all later. I want to thank you for being there today. We'll be back. The internet is acting crazy. Hope to see you soon. I hope you enjoyed the music. It's been Marl Hemsley,